We're here on a farm near Welshpool in Powys, where Shropshire Council is transforming wood waste, straw and manure into a miracle substance called biochar. As the first UK council to do this, the journey so far has been an exciting one. Unsurprisingly, the project has already attracted interest from many other councils in the UK and companies internationally. Watch on to discover more and how your organisation can benefit.
Hi, I'm Dan Redge. I work at Shropshire Council as the Climate and Carbon Project Officer. We're here today at WoodTech, where we are looking at our new and exciting pyrolysis unit, which we are hoping will help us achieve our 2030 net zero target. The team here are going to show us around the facility, and we can see the whole journey from biomass through to biochar.
Our concept was we wanted to produce biochar from arboricultural risings, a lot of garden hedge clippings, whole tree branches, overgrown hedges, field boundary maintenance, and low-grade biochar compared to a lot of proprietary units that are around that produce only out of log chip. So this is the chip that comes in. This is our main base material. It's you can see there's lots of leaf in it, bits of bark, little twigs, because we're using the branches and the rubbish that most of the time is just wasted, left to rot or chipped and left on the roadside. This is what we can actually turn into valuable biochar, and that's what we concentrated on. And it's totally sustainable. In fact, when you cut a small tree or bush, it sprouts and it grows twice as quick as it would do if you left it be. So you can actually harvest your carbon every 10 to 15 years. So the material fed into the plant comes vertically up the middle of the plant in a vertical auger. It cascades out, almost produces like a volcano effect, and then it's moved outwards so that it drops off into the water. So it's a very simple process and very few moving parts. From the production, we directly burn the gases in the same chambers and produce biochar. And then we convert those hot gases into water, and the water heats our dryers, heats our office, heats the workshop, generates electricity, and all that's done from heat, which is produced as a product of harvesting carbon from the atmosphere. Well, our biochar is predominantly going to agricultural uses at present, because I felt from the very beginning, obviously being a small farmer as well, we've been applying biochar now for 5 years on some of our land, and we've seen incredible results, not only to the increased yields, but the whole health of the soil, the health of the plants, the type of plants you grow, and the diversity of the herbage then makes it more palatable for the stock. The stock do better on it. You then get less digestive problems, so then that leads on to you get less disease. So how we use the biochar, we mix it with some of the fines that we produce in the process and use that for cattle bedding. What biochar does in this environment is the cow will pee and it will poo. When the pee and the poo mix together, there's a process called urease happens, where it changes the urea in the urine into ammonia and ammonia gas, and that is what the smell is in cattle housed environments. With the biochar in here, as soon as the cow pees, it gets locked into the biochar and prevents the anaerobic bacteria creating ammonia. We've stopped the anaerobic bacteria multiplying, so that's why we have no smell, and that's why we have very little disease. And the nitrogen that's held in the urine, normally through the process of urease, you'll lose 50, 60, 70% of it before you get it onto the land. Now we end up with probably, I don't know the answer, I mean that's down to academia. All I can see is we put a massively less amount of manure on the field and get a massively bigger yield from it. So, and we're not losing any nitrogen to the atmosphere or leaching to the streams as well.
Okay, what we've got here is a really effective use of biochar on a farm. It's designed so that it can filter water coming from the yard, which is up this way, comes through into this first filter here. When that gets full, we have two more. So when that's got full of sediment and flogs up, it can be easily replaced, but there's two more to take on that extra load, so it will fill up a little bit higher. And what you got coming out into this other pool here is basically charcoal filtered water. If you think about activated charcoal you get in the jug for use at home, this is the sort of farmyard equivalent. And it's basically just sacks of hessian filled with biochar. And of course, what's in that biochar tends to be nutrients that's not good for the rivers, but actually is quite good for the land. So you can use that biochar on tree planting schemes or elsewhere on the farm.
My name's Georgia, I'm a consultant at Clear. I believe this partnership and collaboration is one of the best ways of achieving net zero goals and our biggest challenges.
I'm Paul Crowe, I'm the Chief Executive of Clear. We've been helping Shropshire and Woodside over the past year. And for us, we see this technology as a game changer for helping Shropshire achieve its net zero targets, whilst catalysing an emerging industry for the UK, and more importantly, for the economy of the Marches Forward Partnership area.
Ready to learn more? Contact us for initial consultation on how pyrolysis can help your organisation decarbonise and make revenue from feedstocks.